Hi guys, it's Uprooted once more. This is Hajra.
And this is Rose. Welcome back to our mini pod.
Of course.
Ooh, yeah, I like that.
So for this podcast, we are doing a little bit of an introduction and coming to America from two different countries, Kenya and Uganda, of course. Those who do not know, is East Africa, right on the equator a little bit.
East side?
Okay. So on this episode, we would like to talk more on how we lived in one country and all of a sudden we lived in another. I mean, it's not an easy process. We were daughters of Africa and now we are American citizens, college graduates, and friends for more than 10 years and so forth.
It's definitely not an easy transition. I remember like growing up in Kenya. And coming to America was just like wishful thinking. Like all the adults talked about it. We really didn't think too much of it. But I do remember like there was one time at recess and everyone stopped playing as the plane flew over us, disappearing into the clouds. And as kids, like our imagination started running wild and we were thinking about how America was like the closest place to heaven, and we talked about how the trees grew money and the streets were paved with gold. Like it was a dream come true,
Like the land of opportunities. You were always told that like everything in America is better, is clean, all
right. No dirt anywhere.
Exactly. So when you're a kid, you believe that and you really want to have that dream as well.
Right.
Yeah.
But culture shock is like not just being unfamiliar with like social norms or experiencing new foods. I mean, it has a lot of different factors to it because like schools are different. The way for me, like going to school was back home, you have your uniform on, your nails are short, your hair is tidy. If you didn't want your hair to be braided, I think we had to have like 32 lines or cornrows, whatever, or you were just bald. And I was bald. I ain't gonna lie, I did not like getting my hair done.
No, yeah.
But I know here, like then I came here and my mom had our clothes ready, everything was good, and me and my brother walked in our first day with our uniforms pressed, new shoes, just to see that not everybody wore uniforms because they weren't mandatory. And I went,
no, hairstyle they want,
right? Like people have blue hair, red hair. I went home and told my mom we were not wearing uniforms anymore, and guess what? She still made us wear a uniform until like 4th grade, I think. She would let us dress down on Fridays as a reward. How that was a reward, I don't know. Until this day, she still doesn't believe me about it. It's a sad, sad world.
What would you say will be like one of the things you love about America?
Oh, okay. Not getting beat or hit or spanked, any of that. That does not happen here. I remember I was scared that we were running late and I expected to get a spanking or something. And I walked in and the teacher was just like, sit down. And I'm like, what is going on here? Back home, even if you turn your homework in late, or let's say you forget to do your homework, just expect your knuckles to be hurting for 2 days. Just expect it, because it happens. Like for the little things, like your uniform being wrinkled, your nails are too long, little things like that.
Yeah, that was
so that's one thing that I liked.
And those things right in front of everybody.
Right in front of, I mean, they were right in front of the whole class. Oh man.
One thing I loved about America was like the restrooms. I absolutely loved sitting on a porcelain toilet. So I did not like the squatting thing. if you ever have the opportunity to go to Uganda, any of the
or Kenya,
or Kenya, or Africa as a whole, maybe some Latin countries, any country.
Right, a lot of different countries. Like even when I went to Thailand, and when you go to some of the rural places, they have the hole on the ground, but I mean it's still kind of like a porcelain thing, but you still gotta squat and just put water in it for the flush it, basically. But like everybody needs that experience. To me, I feel like everybody needs that experience. I mean, it will humble you.
It will. You're right.
Yeah, like no, one time I went home from school and it was during lunchtime and I had to really use the restroom. So I took off my sweater and I put my sweater on my lap and I squatted. How I forgot I had my sweater on my lap. I stood up, my sweater fell in the hole. Never seen again. My dad was so mad, yo.
Oh, I can't. Oh, another thing I think of is the hot water. You got both that mess.
Baby girl. Yes, hot water, hot showers. That's something I could not live without.
We came back from Africa, and it was like I was like, oh God, I have to take cold showers.
Those are
for 3 weeks. I gotta be, do what I gotta do.
Now I feel like I'd be so bougie when I go back home, and I like to stay in hotels or with family members that have hot water. Cause not happening. I can't do it. I can't go back. I'm sorry. I can't go back to that.
Oh, you can't? Oh, for real?
I am above it now.
But there is many different things about Africa and different things about America. And another thing is how the food tastes is like school. For school, at every level, there is no wait until you go to college to pay like here. No, at every level in Africa you got to pay for school,
right?
So, and a lot of people can't afford it here.
If
you have the documents, you can go to school.
Free education. Oh my gosh, I love that. Like that's something that a lot of people take for granted.
Exactly. Yeah.
Until here, all you got to do is pay for college. So take your time, guys, and save up this. Pretend that you're back home in Kenya and just save up every paycheck, like you're sending them to school. Use that money and send them to college.
Yeah, and then another difference is how kids are treated here. They can literally play however long, wherever they want
outside without no issues. I mean, they choose not to. I mean, not a lot of kids be outside anymore with all these video games.
No, I mean in America, yes, with video games, but in Africa, they can do whatever they want.
Oh yeah.
No, it's not crazy. They can do whatever they want. They can come back home safely.
Yeah, with no issues, no worries. But that saying about it takes a village.
Exactly. I was gonna actually say that. Yeah, exactly. Your neighbors know your children.
Yes, and you know your neighbors. Okay, let me ask you. You know all your neighbors
over here.
You even know your next door neighbors.
I don't even know what they look like. I'm good.
Exactly. That is some sad stuff. I don't know my neighbors either. I mean, I've seen them. But if I had to see them on the street, I wouldn't know how they look like.
That's true. It's scary to talk to your neighbors even now.
Yeah.
America brings out your
fear and everything.
Fear, because everything is so they can abduct kids.
Yeah. I mean, they are abducting grown people in plain sight. Grown women are being abducted in plain sight. So, I mean, it's a whole different
one thing I know, it's so easy for kids to lie in America to their parents.
Yeah, because there's no repercussions, really, if you think about it.
And in Africa, woo, that lie won't go.
You can't even think about lying to your parents. No, ma'am.
Yes, but I'm pretty sure other people who have been in other countries, they know about culture shock and they have seen the differences. They have experienced the differences.
And even I feel like even the people in America, like let's say you're from the South and you move to the North, that's a culture shock in itself.